You know, I think this is a great veto. I can't wait to see these maps be played. And honestly, Sheep, jokes aside, I still think both of these rosters have what it takes to go way further in ECL Season 50's second cup. That's why I said this should have been in the upper bracket. I think both of those defeats I would personally consider upsets. And sadly for them, they have to match up against a Titan in each other's opponent. One of them will be eliminated as we are jumping straight into the first map of this best of 3 FUT versus ENCE. Dust 2 it is.
And looking like a pretty quick decision here over towards the tunnels. For Navi Jr., of course, the old FUT roster, it was one of their better maps, but very close range already. The couple kills coming in, dodging bullets. Regon's just jumping in, being the distraction and the spearhead. The 2v4.
That's gonna be a tough retake already. Krabeni does not even have armor. He's the one carrying the defuse kit, and I think this is most likely gonna be a save. Maybe retreating, trying to get, well, the defuse kit and the low Kevlar into the next round as ENCE starting off hot. And I didn't get to ask you before we jumped in the game, looking at the veto, who do you think it favors and who would you place your the highest odds on, as we have a chase attempt here? SDY would love to get the kill, but he will get taken out right away. Couple more USP shots will be flying out. Of course, nothing that would affect the results of the round. They would love to find another CT kill, but I think Zugis will be safe. So, yes, Sheep, who do you think has the upper hand in this series?
I think still, in terms of... Oh, the kill came through there in the end. I still think with how these series have gone between them in the past, I have a feeling FUT can do it here. But also then, right, you've lost your trump card. You've lost Makazi. You've lost that powerful rifle to the main team. There has been a bit of a switch. There has been a bit of a pause when Navi Jr. was in sort of this limbo where they couldn't really play anymore. But don't forget, this team qualified for the major.
Absolutely.
The only reason they were, well, for the RMR, the previous, or the MRQ, you know, they keep changing the names. But they qualified for the MRQ above a good amount, I think above 4 other teams. And that is without being the main roster, right? There is some sick power in this team. And we're just going to have to wait until it unfolds. More Deagles on the CT side, but I have a feeling ENCE will be quite calm in these rounds.
There's a UMP there as well, but Regon has a nice chance, gets the first one. Second will not go his way. Couple of kills potentially collected there by the CTs. They are dealing a ton of damage, but can't find the second as ENCE is very much doubling for one another. Krabeni, last man standing, and ENCE very well. You know, slow walk up long. They didn't want to give any opportunities for the CTs to play close quarters with any potential force buys, and successful plant. Nice and easy.
Yeah, pretty calm. I kind of like that strat, you know, just sneaking past, not giving them a real chance to find the timing on a certain shot. You know, when you throw the flashbang out, if they play anti-flash, you know that... Oh my god.
He's got the defuse kit. He saved it from the pistol now. Remember, he's gonna have it. Unexpected, but very...
That is so
close. He's done it. He was planted for Goose. Like, why?
Oh my god. Get into the odd shots. And so what are you doing? Oh, that is so embarrassing.
That's one way of ruining everything you built up towards. Ruining everything, every compliment we've given this team as FUT now. A very unexpected turn of events, but they will get the second round. An effective force buy that Krabeni manages to ninja defuse. And now, look at the economy. Both teams have to invest everything they have. And ENCE, they must be frustrated.
This is gonna be fun because we've heard the talk about the new HLTV rating where a Ninja Defuse in a 1v5 would count as much
more.
as a 1v5 clutch. This is gonna be counted as a 1v4 with a 5-7 for Krabeni. His rating is gonna be through the roof in this series.
Couple of pieces of utility flying out here.
Hefty fight.
Very nice kill there. Molly's galore. Rigon, trying not to get burned, picks up the bomb and will head towards B, but they do have a player disadvantage.
Yeah, they've lost that fight in tunnels. It was a bit awkward. You know, the timing from FUT, it didn't really seem like a full commit to the bomb or to the tunnel fight. They were quite slow with it. Now they're going to try and get ahead of the peak. Rigon is low. Will be caught again. And I don't know where Krabeni went. Maybe recovering a rifle, but he has another smoke. Another defuse kit.
Drops down
And chose to take the fight.
Quite easy.
Yep.
SDY was doing his best, found a few kills, but FUT, that's going to be back-to-back clutches for Krabeni to put his team on his back, double the rounds that they had. At least ENCE managed to plant the bomb and kill 4 CTs, which most likely means they will have plenty of money to reinvest. As we are watching right now, great replay, Krabeni, the clutch master, all ready to kick things off on this dust too. Milty has a Deagle, Rigon, SDY, and Pody AK-47s, and Natu will be going for the Galil. Elsewhere, Lonix, is this the 3rd round in a row he's going for the MP9? So far, yet to find any single kill. Our Kidia player to watch with a nice 0-3 with the SMG so far.
It has been a bit of a curse, hasn't it? Ryu had one of the maps yesterday, our previous Kidia player to watch. He was unable to deliver in, well, 2 of the 3 maps, really. But, I mean, Simple was the one who handled it quite well.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Stamp of approval.
I wonder why, though. What's the difference between Simple and all the other players?
No clue.
No, neither do I.
No. I mean, they're both playing in like tier 2, tier 3, you know, it's just pretty much the same players, isn't it?
But Simple is in the upper bracket, still.
Ooh, burn.
Unlike these 2 teams. And one of them will no longer be in the tournament at the end of the evening, but still a long way to come as very early on, 4th round of this series, and ENCE is playing a very slow default, taking control of mid and now going towards short.
I'm pretty fond of this setup typically, because what is there? There's going to be 2 smokes committed. I still assume that there might be a jump down. Yes, this is an extended mid to B play. Rigon is going to clear CT, so you don't have to smoke that. And now it's just 2 players left.
Symmetry. Needs to get the duel. Spray control doesn't go in his favor, and now Lonix again obliterated. That SMG is really not working out for him. He needs to get a rifle. He's 0-4, and I believe this should most likely be a save as Pody lines 2 of them up. Krabeni has to go for yet another 1 versus 4, but this is highly unlikely as he gets sprayed down by Natu. 2-all. And the Galil running gun in tunnels was very nasty looking.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I mean, you got to make that fight as awkward as possible. And I think what Natu did, from what I saw, we had a pretty quick cut there, but I think he shot on one side of the smoke and then very quickly got out to the other side, which did prompt Lonix to reveal his position, you know, shooting back. Which, if that is actually the case, that's a hella big brain play. That's beautiful, right? To try and bait someone in to shoot the wrong direction, get some info out of it as well. And Natu, he's been on a tear, right? He's one of the Mouse NXT graduates. Maybe not as highlighted as often as a player like Krisen or PR or Jim Fat. Or Jim Pat. Apologies. So yeah, I mean, but Natu is still one of that class and he's doing splendidly.
Lonix, for the first time since the pistols, when he is rocking something that is not an MP9. Hopefully the 5.7 will be a bit more successful as this is a full force buy from FUT.
And full wrong position. So it was a bit of a stack towards the B-bomb side.
Krabeni is in long and he's trying to check if there's anybody coming in on a lurk and they're calling for the save. Okay. I mean, they didn't manage to deal any damage before the bomb was planted, so this makes plenty of sense to me. Pody trading some bullets with Krabeni, but Nature will get caught by Loudix, finally breaking the curse, finding the first kill of the game, and it was the MP9. That's why he couldn't find... Oh, sorry, the UMP rather. That's why he couldn't find anything.
That was one horrible timing for Ryan there. But yeah, just highlighting that pass round real quick. You know, the double smokes on short to make it a mid to B split. Sometimes, but you often see that only with the very best. If you have someone playing in CT, they are able to deal with that very nicely. Because, of course, the player jumping down from short is going to have to cross through a smoke, leaving you at a bit of a disadvantage. But I really like the variation. Sometimes you see players pull it off in your face-it games and it gets you really annoyed because you're like, why isn't my team able to do that? But I really like it. It's a fun variation of one of the most powerful T-side strats on Dust. And apparently the Scout is one of the most powerful weapons. SDY gets told to sit down in suicide, but they leave B open. This is just going to be a full side take. How are you ever going to retake this? Well, that may help.
Beautiful headshot there from Loudix. But sadly, the rest of his teammates have been locked out of B, so the bomb will go down. They still have the numbers advantage if they want to go for it. Pody takes a bit of damage as he's trying to play with the AWP.
Pody's op usually good, but Flashbang should be powerful here.
Anti-flashbang from ENCE. Gets the first one with the M4. It's the double, actually, full flash to getting the... That's Glock from Nature. Demon completely destroyed, and it's gonna be an attempt to get a few exit kills, but they're not even coming his way. They should all be safe. FUT, another valiant attempt, but they will falter. That 4 versus 3 ended up being a 1v3 that they cannot clutch.
ENCE are looking pretty good. ENCE are looking really good here. Alright, there's some solid decision making. They've had control over the economy for quite some time as well. Mostly because that force buy that they had, like the force buy FUT had, where we saw the ninja defuse, the buy afterwards for the CTs was absolutely terrible. And it's still 4 T-side players saving and having like a round ended, right? So you don't win the round, but you still keep all your guns up. And it's not like you won't get any loss bonus then. So even though it was hella embarrassing, it wasn't exactly that bad for ENCE. And you see the rounds afterwards instantly have been victories for them. So they've been doing just fine. Op out for Symmetry.
He's gonna have the chance to win this duel. He's gonna lecture Pody. Ooh, the second bullet does not connect, and he's getting pushed back away by Utility. Demon getting close a little bit in mid. Spots one, but it's Krabeni still keeping his team in this one. The only 2 rounds that FUT has managed to gather so far have been on the back of Krabeni.
A punishment for going slow on long, and now you're gonna have to fight 4 more on short.
Recon, what a nice headshot, just obliterates the EWP of Symmetry. Krabeni still stands his ground, finds a double, but full flash taken out. There is one more chance, and is Laonix, the Kidia player to watch, also dying to Mitzi. Demon flings out, that's a perfect 180 to get the double kill. SDY, though, very, very far away and long. But Demon is not aware. SDY might have the timing.
I have a feeling Demon's gonna continue this walk, yeah. He's gonna reposition onto short, but eventually, SDY has come through long. No way, Demon. Oh, this is gonna be nasty.
It's a great, great call from him. SDY doesn't have time to go anywhere else. 15 seconds, he needs to plant the bomb. Demon has the angle, has the opportunity, but is it plant? Oh, the smoke comes in time to cover the plant. SDY is not gonna be aware. There's not one chance, 1 in a million years, you're not looking long.
You didn't see him.
Demon will be patient. He does not have a defuse kit, but he can probably pick up one off the ground. SDY is looking behind.
Taking it.
The timing. Whose favor is going to be in SDY? The experience prevails, and what a round to win after Demon almost clutched up for FUT.
what a sick play to deal with the lack of information. That is so damn good. Standing up high in the smoke, so any real sprays, right? It's a funky off angle. You'd never really expect someone in a 1v1 to stand on top of those boxes. So there won't be any pre-fire in there. You're a bit more safe from any nades potentially flying in. And, well, you saw it. Just simply not ready was Demon for that angle. That's a very impressive clutch. And it continues the streak. ENCE building up the lead to 5. And once again, just the digs for FUT. FUT?
What's we're gonna get a tag, Pody? Oh, that was very slow. Come on, Pody. I could have done that better, and I'm like a measly 15k premier. Let's go. Crabeni, oh, a bit of a mistake there, losing the only rifle on the CT side. They would need to go all the way back platform to pick it up, so it's gonna be, they're gonna go for it, but losing that early duel to Rigon and ENCE, you could say they're a foot closer to winning the map. Bottoms. No? Yeah.
Yeah, it was there. Move to make some lower control happen. There just isn't really any opportunity here for FUT. It's a bit of a futile struggle to just try and, bring in some opposition in a round like this. ENCE are playing this very cleanly. And I think you sometimes see that with tier 2 teams, right? They have all the structure to deal with these type of forces. Oh, sick AK skin, by the way. I have to highlight that real quick. SDY, nice craft. But
Symmetry has a chance with the Deagle, gets one. The second doesn't quite go his way. There was a bit of potential there, but they're walking into them, but they're so low on HP already. Swinging out, SDY finds the first. Second will also go his way. Demon whiffs a couple of shots. And it's 6 on the board for ENCE. I gotta remind everybody, this is ENCE's map pick, but FUT wanted to start on the CT side. And so far, they're not really convincing me.
No, it's been a struggle. They haven't been able to get the money up. They haven't been able to really consistently drag out these fights. I mean, the closest round that we've seen recently was nearly a 1v3 from Demon. All the other rounds, pretty much as soon as ENCE has thrown their main punch, there has been no rebuttal. We haven't seen many mid-rounds, many 3v3s. There just hasn't been the option for FUT, and they're going to go in again.
Lounix this time gets a double. It's going to be way harder for ENCE to win this one. First time, I believe, in the entire half where they are a 2-player disadvantage so early on, and we see a retreat going back to base, rerouting the attack, reconsidering their options, but they've already wasted a lot of their utility on that B crunch attempt. No more, actually, a single flash available for the AWP player.
Couldn't hear that nade from that range, but Symmetry very cleanly takes the shot. He's always so quick. He has that little, it's not as alike, but he has that little wiggle that Simple sometimes has. Right? He's just like a very high sensitivity player on the AWP. It's always very enjoyable to watch those types of oppers, in my opinion. As Krabani, nice off angle, should be 2, will be 1, but Nachu on his own.
I think he's gonna try to save. Oh, never mind, he's getting curious. Gonna walk into the crosshair of Symmetry, and FUT finally get around more like a unit instead of Krabeni having to go for the ninja defuse. Just reminding everybody, if Krabeni doesn't clutch and doesn't get the ninja defuse, the scoreline would have been 8-1 now.
That's devastating. I mean, that shot wasn't even a wall bang, by the way. It was just through the smoke. He saw like a sliver of him.
Yeah.
That wasn't behind the door. It's a testament to the accuracy of these young players.
Pody. This could be very interesting. Symmetry versus Pody. First time we get a head-to-head. Nope, smokes are landing. So we will not be gifted.
Oh, well.
The dissipated smoke is gonna allow Symmetry to get a kill. Now Rigon wants to punish, and he flicks around, gets the kill. Symmetry actually kills a teammate, and FUT still maintains the player advantage.
What a shot from Rigon. That's certainly one way to keep yourselves in this round, and he's taken the ground in the CT side. He's gonna be the surprise for Krabeni. This is a full open A site. The one soon to be pressure is Demon on long. But Rigon, he's still lurking here. They don't know where Rigon went. He could have gone anywhere.
Demon could also be the element of surprise. Symmetry is holding the angle. He has already found a couple, so has Rigon. He will get enabled, slowly coming from mid, and he's gonna find easy kill in the back of the head. A second will not go his way as Symmetry and Demon are getting a couple of nice headshots to clutch it up. Demon, what? How?
That's sick. I mean, the amount of shots that are being hit in this game, it's actually pretty damn crazy. I mean, we've seen some very nice flicks. I mean, at some point, you gotta say, yeah, this is the minimum you'd expect. But as a viewer, right, just to enjoy, I mean, these shots just consistently so damn fast. And, well, if I want to take you back real quick to that train map yesterday, it's a lot higher quality in terms of the shooting here. That's for sure. Wallbang tag, Pody. Finally, or SDY actually with the scout. Finally able to fight back a bit. Is Rigon gonna hit this headshot?
No. Oh, they're going for a counter boost. A bit too late. This is the first time we get an eco from ENCE, so we should be looking at a 6-5 scoreline. FUT slowly but surely getting back into Dust 2 as they've been slow at the start, but you know, it's better late than never. HE.
Control walled off.
Not dealing any damage. Interesting, HE. Second one coming. This shot from Symmetry, but we have Demon here spraying and down, getting his 3k, going for more. Pody gets a shot down onto him, but it's 1v4 as Launix wants to get a kill. What a scout headshot onto the Romanian Kidia player to watch. Symmetry doesn't miss again. But man, that P250 scout double from Pody was beautiful.
That was pretty sick. Let's get Demon there. This shot. Good crosshair placement and nice confidence from Symmetry. Or Cemetery, I think it actually is, but I think most are calling him Symmetry. Should have been more clear in his name. Last full buy, last round of the half, and we're gonna see a good old long attack.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to see. Launix wasn't seeing anything over there. Full blinded by the utility flying from the T's. Oh. Spray down. Okay. They managed to get a couple.
Nature just popped Rigon in the back of the head with his AK, but they're still willing to fight. Again, this division smoke, but Rigon doesn't really care, does he? Another kill, 4v2. Yes, there is still some attempt possible, but Symmetry gets caught looking a bit foolish there.
ENCE has had more success in getting tags and kills with the scout than with the AWP on the T side of Dust 2.
Yes. The lighter weapon apparently fits their playstyle slightly better. They're trying to catch a solo player off guard. You know, trying to equalize it in a duel, but...
Oh, that was definitely heard. I think Rigon can hear that drop. It will not matter. They were gonna go A anyway. Symmetry holding it. Smoke dissipated a bit too early for him. And Rigon is gonna come in. Perfect timing. Bullet to the back of the head. Finally, Demon will get the trade, but it's a 1v4 that he just begins right now. He's gonna try with the AWP first. No, it's the AK-47 he decides to pick up and then eat a ton of molly damage as he gets taken off the map. Final headshot bullet from Pody, 7-5 at the half. straight back into action with ENCE versus FUT, second half of Dust 2. ENCE 2 rounds leading at the half on their map pick.
A lot of value came from that Ninja defuse. It would have been probably 9-3 had that not happened. But we're going to see another attack on towards the B bomb site, Nachu, as the B anchor from ENCE already gets warmed up. SDY allowed to leave there, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, Milty catches Krabeni by surprise. A rough start for them as Yugi's also down to 4 HP. Another nice headshot from SDY, somehow still standing alive, and this was a clinic from ENCE.
That was some good shooting from Milty. That was very nice. And I'd like to highlight them. Podia and Milty, right? For the longest time, if you've been following ENCE Academy, maybe you followed a couple of their games, right? I've seen them play a lot of times. I was very afraid nothing was going to happen with the ENCE Academy team. I was very afraid it was just going to empty out and maybe a couple players move to different teams, whatever. But no, they have decided finally to move them up to the main roster. And especially Milty, I think, is a surprise for most people, right? The name Pody was circulating already, but Milty is actually stepping up quite well across all recent series that ENCE have had. And it does make me happy because at some point I was a bit worried, but he's proven himself and he might get a 4K now.
That will definitely boost his stats even more. The fifth one is coming. This could be a clean ace from him. He needs to get at least a couple here, as he's the sole A player, gets double, and he does fall in the end. Not the 4, not the 5 that we were hoping for. And now Symmetry falls back. Oh, nice self-flash from Rigon, catching Symmetry out. And now the MP9 of Pody is going to find both of the final kills and salvage the dropped M4A1.
That M4's been through a lot of hands, but only Milty manages to kill with it. Let's see the spray control. Just goes to the right a bit too late with his crosshair. It's a couple in the door. Of course, very easy to say when you're watching. My spray control is absolutely worse. So I'd probably go to the left with my mouse, so don't y'all worry about that. Guns are out. And I'm hoping for some explosiveness from the FUT team. Of course, they have lost one of their main entry capabilities. They were waiting pretty patiently on that.
Doesn't get the chance to shoot there. Ooh.
That's where the play that we saw yesterday, you know, with the double nade. How efficient that can be, because as soon as that first nade has gone by, a lot of the players see now he has the second nade, but this is already a bit too late. Krabeni gets hit by it though. But that second nade on the AWP, that's something that I think we'll see a lot more of. Teams just need to adapt to it. Ooh. Bit of noise.
Krabeni. There's nobody holding short. There's 2 CTs towards long. And no decision has been yet made by FUT. They're trying to get curious, you know, throwing a couple of smokes in a potential
Krabeni's gonna jump through this.
SDY seems to be ready. Playing anti-flash. He could get caught or overwhelmed by numbers, as he's got players in mid and one dropping from short. The Molly's gonna push him out in the open, and SDY still finds a kill onto Lounix before falling. Rigon also gets one. It's Nachu 1 versus 1 in tunnel. He is getting pushed from mid. He needs to commit to a fight in MP9, but he's gonna get obliterated by Symmetry, and it will have to be Krabeni getting another kill. That was an optimistic spray that somehow works out.
Yeah, a bit labored there, but with the backside turned, and yeah, not really a lot you can do, especially from that range. You can feel confident to go for the spray. And all in all, good round. I think it's pretty fun that in the first full gun round, FUT use exactly the same strat, you know, with a couple of details tweaked, but pretty much the same strat as what ENCE used against them. the mid to B via short with one player.
Yeah, I mean, if it works for them, why can't it work for us? So, we lost one player to the bomb. Okay. Pody was more than happy. Yeah, Pody's more than happy. He's like, wow, guys, I that was me. It actually was not, but ENCE will have money to reinvest into this one. We see already a few M4s out and a FAMAS for Milty. On the other hand, no AWP for the T side. Launix still very quiet, 5 and 13. Oh, Pody. Look at the confidence. He's taking control of the top mid already, gets an easy shot, and he's gonna escape without being traded. Rigon now fighting versus Dugis in 3-2, swing out, and AK-47 prevails, but down to 11 HP. STY wants to overwhelm and gets the trade in the end.
Yeah, Dugis gained the information, you know, with Pody pushed up that far, there has got to be someone in tunnels. So him winning that fight versus Rigon is not too surprising. Pody missing that shot is... We'll see him looking up in the air, praying that he doesn't get shot. It's a great flash, but not worth a lot. Nade lands on the wrong player. It's still yet a 3v3.
SDY could catch a timing behind them. A few HEs, nice damage onto Launix in ramp. He's now moving back to car. Great reposition for the Romanian, but SDY throws utility up in the air and will lose the duel versus Krabeni. Nachu gets one, Launix gets the trade right away, and it's Pody last alive with 9 HP. Shoots a bullet and he's gonna give it up. That Molly doesn't do anything, and another round going in the favor of FUT. Pody can't get anything. Well, he found one, but not sufficient to help his team win the round.
Now, I think they try to be enough of a distraction there in CT to make sure all eyes are off Pody. Because just a single AK bullet would have dealt with him easily. So they wanted to get the eyes off, wanted to have them focus in, but that smoke was still down, not really playing together all too well there, SDY and Nachu. Eventually, it doesn't work out for them. It's such a good start. You begin this round with, well, 5v4, then 4v3. But eventually, it's not enough. Milty with that FAMAS was the doofus death, as so called. I can't remember which Twitter user, like what his Twitter user handle is, but there's one guy who made like a lot of stats for tier 1 of like deaths, where you're 4-3 up, and if you die as the one man, so you cause it to be equal, or you cause an equal position to become a disadvantage. And then also the other way around, you know, them getting the kills. It's a pretty funny statistic. I think if you find, like, I don't know where you can find it actually, but someone remind me in chat what his Twitter handle is exactly.
All
the viewers can, all the viewers can visit that.
SDY is been invited to the barbecue. He was meant to eat, not
Sunburn Young.
That's good. I like that. Launix, after signaling him out, he's found 3 kills in the last 40 seconds, so he is definitely looking much better now. At the same time, now Dugis is kind of slow behind 5 and 11, but of course, ENCE full pistols other than the saved AWP of Pody. 3 players actually, and the bomb in that B tunnel, so this could get quite dangerous.
Ops in the correct position. I mean, the supporting cost isn't all too great. Just misses the shoulder.
The USB gets the job done. Demon and Pody.
Phase 2.
Finding kills.
Pody's stepping up.
Gets a double, gets a triple. Going for the 4th, doesn't quite find it. Has to be Rigon. Can he pick up a weapon? Launix. 15 seconds, fakes the plant.
Needs the ace.
Behind the box, he has to swing out, and he's gonna get it. Launix getting the ace to clutch up for FUT, who almost faltered versus that eco.
Yeah, pretty dangerous. And Pody hitting all of the shots that he needed. Well, apparently one too little. And it's Launix. You mentioned he started to play a bit better after we singled him out. Well, an ace will surely shut us up. Nice work from Launix. Able to trade onto all those pistols, but I mean, ENCE, damn efficient. in that, well, pretty much full eco. So nicely done. Let's see if the op can get something timing just not in the favor of Pody.
Kiria player to watch for a reason. He might have been quiet for a while, but definitely stepping up when the team needed him most. It's gonna be ENCE with a bye, Pody with EWP again, Milsey with an MP9. Of course, we need to say it. Pody had 3k with the op that round, so maybe he can find a few more versus another gun round.
ENCE have been rather static on the CT side. We've seen the single round where they had gone for that top mid peak from Pody and eventually it didn't really work out as they lost the 4v3. But before and after that, we haven't really seen all that much from him. We're gonna see the another mid to B fake. And I think FUT are counting on it being a distraction. Nechu having his eyes peered on towards the mid doors. Pody is going to be the solo hold here. And we have the walk up from Krabeni.
Nice shots, traded right away. Pody, spotted a leg. Symmetry walks into the crosshair and it's going to be Krabeni last alive again. 1 versus 3 with a dream. Not enough time to pick up the bomb, but he is going towards upper tunnels. Okay, here's the smoke. It will deter him and he's going to stop. Krabeni, another 3k. He needed to get an ace this round if he wanted to get FUT to an equal footing to ENCE, but not gonna be this time around at least.
Love when players show a bit of emotion there through the mouse.
Honestly, this repositioning of Pody, playing B for the last 2-3 rounds has definitely paid off amazing dividends for the side of ENCE. Even in the losing rounds, he has found multi-kill after multi-kill, and FUT realizes, okay, this change-up has caught us by surprise. Now our money isn't looking too hot. Let's call a tactical timeout and rethink how we want to approach these later portions of Dust 2.
And they had some momentum. It's halted a bit at this point. Lonex's ace. The final real moment from FUT thus far.
Oh, tag?
Oh, tag.
Love to see it. We've mentioned, I mean, at this point, other than Pody, all the other 9 players have had more success with the scout than with the EWP. Drop down. Oh, the flash wasn't quite there. Pody repositions and shoots a second too early. Launix will be happy as STY gets the kill onto the scout user. Should be a fairly clean round for ENCE here. Should be. Never a guarantee.
Especially not with the single AK still in play. Can do some big damage, as we've seen before. And Krabeni, he isn't all too unfamiliar with the hero AK play. Even in a team where you had Makazi and Demon, oftentimes it was still him carrying that single rifle.
I mean, the way he's been playing now, you could argue that even historically, he's probably deserving, right?
Oh yes, for sure. I mean, he's such a great player. I think we'll see some fun battles in the future between Krabeni and Krizen, as they're both young and very sharp shooting IGLs. Someday Young will line up a multi-kill, and there's one more for him. The Deagle of Demon is gonna only be just that, and death will be delivered swiftly to the FUT team.
STY got a 4k on that B bomb site.
Hell yeah.
I like how you were talking about the duel between Krabeni and Krizen of being young, and some die young just got 4k after that. That was quite poetic, I would say.
Oh, beautiful. Unintentional poetry.
Poetry in motion, you could even say, as FUT. We didn't cover this. We covered the tactical timeout because I thought they were going to eco. No, they forced it. They got obliterated, and now they don't have money to play. They will have to eco and play for OT, unless they can somehow pull a miraculous upset with a smoke of flash and 5 Glocks. My money is on they're not making it happen, but I would love to be proven wrong, as they're gonna... Oh, I thought that was an HE. Okay, the explosion onto the beef site will be coming in. That's another explosion on top of their head. HU seems to be aware of the player. Nice miss from Pody, but Dragon will jump onto site. The spray down comes through. Launix will find one kill, picking up the AK-47. Can't do anything with it. It's going to be a double attempt from Krabeni. Successful in only finding one, and ENCE has 4 map points.
So typical of Regon to just sprint through a smoke and try and get something here.
You love it.
As well in the window. Yeah.
I actually think he was my favorite player to watch out of the Bad News Eagles squad. I don't know why, I've always loved his playstyle.
He's a very, like, if people talk about how, like, the aggressive style of BNE and all that stuff, like, a lot of that is down to Regon. I mean, he's so enjoyable to watch. He's not necessarily the best player, but it's so fun. Some of the plays he makes.
There we go, Zugis. It only took us 21 rounds to get a double kill. Finally, he actually manages to keep his team in this one by getting the trade onto Launix and finding a second player in lower. Flash out, Milty off the angle, Krabeni, and the rest of his team are walking down mid. Nice headshot there.
Yeah. He's trying to through that smoke, no real kills in return, and Pody, just a tag. Does have a feeling someone's at the B bomb site, but
he's getting hunted down.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting out of this.
Double door smoke. Pody would love to find a kill on Demon and then maybe save his AWP. Spray doesn't connect quite yet. Demon is 1 bullet away from dying, and Pody will get the headshot. Is not gonna go back for the op. That is the correct choice. It will have to be. He'll have to be content with an AK-47.
And he can buy the op next round. Should be fine. I think his teammates would much rather have the AK than the M4. But FUT deciding to take a couple of more fights. And win them. So a bit less on the strategic end and a bit more on the duels. Of course, ENCE kind of facilitating that with the double setup in tunnels. What a zoom. What?
Whoa.
Am I high?
I thought my GPU collapsed. My goodness, what just happened? That was incredible. Can we get more of that, please?
I think I have a headache.
Oh, man. Oh, well, getting the first step in the right direction. They need at least 3 more rounds to force overtime on Dust 2. And they've got the EWP for Symmetry. Can he connect with any shots? Are we going to get a dual heal Pody? Jumping up. Symmetry is actually very patient in dark. Doesn't want to go for an early shot.
And way more passive. I mean, FUT, they were expecting a lot more aggression. But they'll just take this space for free. That's one of the things of the current Dust 2 meta, is oftentimes the T side can take short just by waiting. Taking long is a different kettle of fish, though, as Milty is allowed an escape.
Nice.
Penny will be caught.
That was beautiful. And now they even dropped the bomb. They know where it is. Regon was slipping at the wheel. Quite sad to see, as they had a 2-player advantage. What was it called when you've got the advantage and you lose the duel?
The Bozo death.
The Bozo death. There we go. Ooh, the flash. Oh, Dukis could have a timing on STY here. He's actually swinging out. He's behind the player, but it's Milty. Oh, the anchor, you could call him, of his team, getting a second kill in this round. 1 long, 1 short. And now FUT has a 2-player disadvantage. And they need to go for this one if they want to stay in the game. Or maybe go through this one, not through the smoke.
They're just hunting him. They want this map to be over, and it will be very soon. As soon as that smoke fades, there's no more cover, and he's out in the open. They just sprint through and kick him out the server. It is 13-9 for ENCE.
Great first map from ENCE. Obviously, there have been a few hiccups, including the Ninja Diffuse, but despite those going in the favor of their opponents, it was more or less the ENCE show. I don't think there was any moment when we were afraid for them, as we get to see a bit of the replay here. And I'm really excited to see if FUT can take it back on their side of Mirage. We saw how great their stats have been in the last couple of months on that map, but ENCE is playing very cool, calm, and collected Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's a lot more clean than they've had in the past couple of games. That consistency issue is still there, and it will still plague ENCE for the time being. And it's just very difficult to get that to click. Right, this would be a pretty important win. Would they lose this? They kind of nearly put themselves offside for major qualification. There are still some lands to be played though, but they're on the verge. Of course, that's going to be the target. But yeah, we still have one more map. It's going to be Mirage, a good map for ENCE, an even better map for FUT. So I'm excited.
Yeah, so am I, and hopefully Laonix can continue his success after that. Ace, as the Kidia player to watch, really needs to start putting in the work if they want to take us to a deciding map 3, but we will see that after the break.
Then losing that absolute firepower is gonna make it so difficult to find a fifth player that actually does fit into those roles, that controls the game like you wanted to, controls the game like you're used to. And Makazi is one of those guys, right? He's holding his own just fine in tier 1, but that's saying something. I mean, I don't really see currently in some of these lower or like tier 3 teams at this point, there isn't as much talent as there was, you know, 6, 9, 12 months ago to choose from. So they're gonna have to pick for more experienced players. That is a Masuta and a Laonix, and that makes it difficult for him. I think Laonix still has enough firepower, but it's tough to find a correct fifth for this team.
Mirage will commence like all Counter-Strike maps do with the pistols. I'm looking at a smoke double flash from Symmetry and 5 USBs for the CTs, no dualies.
No dualies is curious, you don't see that often, and also it's the full brawl setup. Everyone's gone for armor. No util for the CTs, and I'm pretty sure this is the Vitality pistol round strat that FUT are now pulling out on Mirage here. Let's see if they can hold on to the B-bomb side. Short already swarmed.
SDY finds one, but now the trades are going in the favor of the T's. Pody would love to find a head before the bomb gets planted, but I don't think he's going to be successful. 3 players retaking all the way from Market. Milty trying to jump in, doesn't find... Ooh, Krabetti spots everybody, swing out from Demon, and they're gonna completely obliterate this retake attempt as FUT gets the first step through the door.
One thing I'd like to highlight is the first ESL Challenger Cup of this 50th season. A nice anniversary. The fact that ENCE, they finished 5th, 6th in the previous ESL Cup.
Yep.
But that was also a bit due to a forfeit. Beautiful replay of the A-bomb site here, where nothing happened. But yeah, ENCE had to forfeit a game versus Zero Tenacity. In my opinion, they win that match, and then they get to play either Paravision, and then maybe later on 9, they could get a top 3 finish in that tournament, as there was a missed CT smoke as well. Couple of inaccuracies, but yeah, it's gonna be way more difficult to replicate that result for ENCE already being in the lower bracket now. So it's gonna have to start here and now, and it would be a massive lower bracket run if they can actually continue this lower bracket. But for now, just waiting outside of B are FUT.
Rigon is gonna actually fall back. Now they hear that player's nature gets a double with the UMP, and look at the damage. Duke is down to 17. That UMP did so much work, as now ENCE have the advantage and Rigon just
course.
finds the kill. Juke is just jumping on top of the car. Not the smartest play there, especially as the smoke was there. It's gonna have to be Krabeni in Symmetry trying to find something, but Pody lets one get on site. He's gonna try to play the element of surprise, but the bomb will go down.
If Pody doesn't get one, this becomes dangerous. Yes, 8 and 12 HP, but it's still 2 rifles, 2 Galils. This flank will settle it for ENCE. That got a bit more hairy than it may have needed to be. But all in all, Nachu winning them that round with the first 2 kills and the dink.
As an AWP player, I think that's Pody's excuse. There was no scope on the deagle, and that's why, you know, he didn't feel quite comfortable to go for the quick zoom. But the UMP was, yeah, you mentioned it already. A beautiful positioning. I don't even know how he made it. Thanks. The extra slow motion made it somehow even better.
I did like the trigger discipline play earlier on, because he did have the lineup, but right before he had it, he fully disappeared into the smoke, and you can't really predict if he's going to move left or right on that angle. So I did like that play. Eventually it's a bit awkward with him whiffing the rest, but hey, still fine. Flash is a bit too soon. They're not quite stuck in tunnel just yet.
SDY spotted the legs, spotted the player top mid, and that's effectively everybody. The question is, how many kills can he find from this angle? Would love to get a few here. Pody, long range. Oh, okay, well, Krabeni,
mostly Rigon.
Single kill. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. It was a full eco from the side of FUT. So, now this is the round that could dictate the way this first half is going to begin. We're going to have full buys from both teams. Of course, a few Galils in the mix of that.
Galils ain't too bad on the CT side. It's the spray control's a bit more difficult, but especially if you tap fire, pretty similar damage to the M4s. Oh, that's SDY spray firing onto top middle. He wants to get out, but can be safe inside that corner, inside that smoke.
Obviously, Pody has picked up the op in round number 4.
Nasty.
So much information. Yeah, ENCE gives his team so much info. They are re-smoking. Of course, he doesn't have wall hack to see if there's anybody in Palace, but ENCE is gonna come in very fast. Look at the time, 1:10, and he's already beyond T-spawn.
And he's hearing all these footsteps. There's 3 players on B waiting for him. Even if he doesn't get a single kill, still, this information is so valuable. He's gonna be right behind them. He's gonna miss another angle.
But he spotted one player in connector. Rigon could get pushed back by the molly. Nacho is the first to fall, but Rigon will get a trade. The action happens in short as ENCE finally managed to get a kill.
Oh.
SDY inside. Great positioning from him with a Galil. Is going to find an easy, clean double on site. Demon, last alive, who has to get the bomb down, but he doesn't have it in his position as we speak. No. Demon continuing to find great headshots, and now Pody with AWP. He is the element of surprise. He has not shot a single bullet. Demon, how are you going to make the cross onto site? Not by walking.
Time's gonna force him to commit to the B bomb side. He's gonna go for this wide swing, but Pody misses! He gets spooked by the close angle, and Demon will pop up in Pody's nightmares.
That is a very, very tragic miss from Pody. We've complimented how good he was with the op on the CT side of Dust 2, but now whiffing that shot, enabling Demon to get an amazing 1 versus 3 clutch.
ENCE, I mean, there was already the 3-player rotate called over towards the B bomb side.
And that's how you use the op.
Yeah, and yes, you already have that info. You aren't completely sure if they've gone over towards short. I get that you think, okay, 3 players on B, that's enough commitment, but it was such a loss that he couldn't rotate in quick.
This battle in mid So going back and forth as we have Launix with a Mac-10 somehow punishing Pody until he gets taken out. With over a minute and 20 seconds left, the bomb goes down when we're looking at 2 versus 2. Incendiary is going to push Symmetry off the angle.
Flank.
And what a whopping headshot from backside. Regon alone, he is getting flanked. He needs to make a commitment. Otherwise, Dugis is going to find the freest of kills. Drops down to Sandwich. Gets the spray down onto first, but Regon, there's no way in hell he knows what Dugis is. The Galil in the back of the head. Easy kill. And that was an absolutely incredibly fast round.
Yeah, that was fireworks start to finish. Hefty mid-fight, but so much commitment necessary from ENCE on that middle fight, and part of that is by a ridiculous 180 and about 90 degrees upwards from Launix, who actually gets his first kill. Arcadia player to watch has been pretty dry thus far on the dusty map of Mirage. But yeah, too much commitment. Now it's going to be a double play with the pistols into Palace. And popped will be a SDY.
Yeah, just one more deagle in the P250. Otherwise, Nature has a USB. They're rushing through the mollies, overwhelming the players inside. And yeah, FUT is going to find the 4th quite easily here, Sheep. And ENCE, again, I feel like the roles have reversed, and they definitely have, because their opponent map pick, they've chosen their favorite side, but they can't find too much success. When is the timeout going to come?
They haven't been too fond of taking timeouts, and wasn't that necessary in the previous map, of course. Symmetry looking to clean up here. Is that a Zeus?
Might have been.
I know a Zeus often doesn't show up on the HUD, does it? I'm uncertain now, but
no matter what it was, it did not work out.
No.
No timeout here. They're going for a full reinvestment. They don't have enough money to go for an op again. So it will have to be Pody with a very quiet start. So far 1 and 5, not on the trusted Big Green. And now a bit of an early aggression will get offset for a few moments by an incendiary from the CTs.
Still looking to be very fast yet again.
Regon could find the opening here onto Krabeni. Krabeni spots the head but doesn't get the opportunity. He gets overwhelmed by the numbers. 1 up high, 1 down low, but at least the A bomb site will be free and available for the T's to take it. SDY eats a ton of damage and the HEs are gonna put him to the ground. The retake commences.
4 versus 4. Again, that mid-fight commits them to completely leave this A site. And now it's going to be, for now, a disjointed CT side take. Are there even flashbangs for this on Regon and Nature? No, they're going to have to go through this smoke. This is a freebie for Symmetry.
Oh,
Blind
man.
as bats as they come to find him.
This must be safe. No more time to win the round. Pody and Milty have to give this one up and allow FUT number 5, as that push through the smoke only got Symmetry a very, very nice double. Up to 9 kills already alongside Demon, topping the scoreboard on Mirage thus far.
It's awkward. It's... You commit like 4 players towards that middle fight, even so many players that you aren't able to hold one into CT. Symmetry gets that spot completely for free. I think there was only a single flash used, and then he realized, oh, this B empty. And yeah, that gives him so much free space to just work with. And everyone knows the importance. I mean, it's till all this time on Mirage, you need to have CT.
What just happened? Okay, that was Regon as well, doubling up to get that kill into Launix. That MP9 shot looked like an AWP shot. However fast he managed to kill Launix. And despite him being 1 in 6, FUT has been managing to find success usually on the other sides of the map. And right now, 1 player in ramp, it's gonna be Demon finding the opening, and Dugis with the second. FUT, doesn't matter, you lose 1 player early on, you will still get on site and you'll still have the player advantage some way, somehow.
ENCE felt forced to move forward with the lower weapons. A Symmetry again, a smoke kill in CT. ENCE will be overwhelmed, and again, there's just way too much commitment for ENCE. This reeks of desperation, these types of plays, right? They don't feel comfortable holding middle with just 3. They need a 4th there. They don't feel comfortable pushing tunnels with 1. They need a 2nd there. And it's leaving so many gaps on the bomb sides that, I mean, even the trades on the A bomb side, they just don't work out.
You gotta wonder, what is it gonna be for them to start turning this one around? Because so far, it's been the one team show.
Yeah, FUT's been on a tear throughout this T side, and even then, I just don't feel the confidence that they're going to be able, that ENCE are going to be able to close out this man advantage.
6 rounds already, with 4 more at play here on this half. FUT are not taking their off the pedal. At least another player advantage for ENCE. They need to keep this man advantage in their favor somehow.
A burst up through connector, a new strat, but a new punishment as well. Pody's AWP finally with some impact. Siugas traded once more. Another 1v3 ready to be cooked up by Krabeni. This would be devastating, and this is a brilliant move.
Pody.
Timing, oh, that's so good, but he makes steps.
HE?
Knows Pody's in here.
The AWP has the first chance. He misses the shot again, Pody. So uncharacteristic, but it's gonna be Nature in the end getting this one for ENCE. Oh man, how dangerous this has felt, and I don't know what happened to Pody between those two and now, but he has not found any of these AWP shots on Mirage.
Oh, looking back, Krabeni is gonna absolutely hate himself from throwing off that smoke there. In the moment, it does seem like a good idea, but he's just cleared that angle. He knows there's not much there. He didn't have the AK ready. Had he had it, then I don't know if Nature would have been able to survive there. That spray took a bit. Oof, man.
I love this from FUT. I love this from FUT. You know, they won 6 rounds. They just dropped 1 for the first time in a hot moment, and they realized, oh, we were so close. Let us call a pause and rethink how we want to proceed from this point onwards, because if they can get even 1 more round, going 7 rounds and a half, it would be very good, but getting all 3 of the remaining ones is definitely what FUT is aiming for.
I mean, it would be deserved with the rounds that we've seen play out. I mean, ENCE have not felt comfortable. Only now you can see a bit more of a default coming in. They don't feel as much pressure to go for these awkward takes, but finally you win a round, but you do it with 1 player standing left alive. You're going to be on half of the util and a FAMAS from ENCE.
They're going back to A, the easy kill. ENCE taken out. Pody has to get a shot, finally finds one. 4 versus 4, the bomb has yet to go down. The mollies, good positioning there, coming to push the players out. They're going for a boost.
You heard that.
Pody, but they're not looking for it. Pody, okay, they're opting against it in the end. They're going to give up the angle. Rigon, great positioning, finds first. Nature with the second. Krabeni, someone standing their ground. Player disadvantage for the T's. Infiltrating the smoke is not going to work out for the first, but the second gets the kill. Pody misses a shot. Symmetry versus 2. The bomb is not planted for him. HE coming in, smoke up to separate it, and he needs to commit with the Glock. Pushing in, but they're both holding. Nobody's onto the bomb, and that's going to be a great round victories for the CTs.
Yeah, finally some more well thought out plays, and well, I'm happy that ENCE have realized how powerful keeping control over CT is on these A-sided plants, and you see it. You go down 1 player, as long as you hold on to CT side, or like to the CT entrance, you're gonna be fine most of the time. A bit of a mistake exploited as well from FUT. You know, top connector, a bit awkward there that the angle doesn't get cared for. Back to some mid-aggression. FUT slowly losing momentum at the end of this half. Pretty similar as to what we saw in Dust 2, just the other way around.
And it might be too early to say that, right? We need to see how this round will go. Oh, Pody. Okay, starting to find a couple of kills in back-to-back rounds. Demon will be eliminated, and he's holding that angle. Onyx at least has swapped out that pesky Mac 10 for an AK-47 sheep. SDY has the angle. He's gonna give it up. Ziyugi's potential headshot opportunity does not manage to connect. And that's gonna give away his position, but the rest of his team is still coming in through connector. They're taking the fight, and they're winning this. Mitzi with a nice kill. That's a nice second from Rigon. Ziyugis finally gets something in exchange, but there are 2 players down, and Pody still holds with the AWP. Symmetry does punish Mitzi in sight, flashing out, and they're gonna push the AWP away from spawn.
Giving themselves a bit of breathing room ahead of this clutch. Looked like was already a retake happening. Angle is exposed. That nade will finish him off. Nate with the headshot is a bit earlier.
Symmetry
1v3.
They're coming for him. He's being swarmed and he's getting shot in the back. As you said, ENCE has a resurgence. Shades of Dust too.
Has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better. It seems like they've finally cracked the code a bit, which honestly, most of it is just holding on to CT's side.
Yeah.
Holding on to CT on the A-bomb side. But apparently FUT are having a lot of trouble dealing with it. It's not necessarily the greatest of change-ups that ENCE have made, and it is something that you can expect. I mean, Symmetry's gotten that information that CT side was empty so often. I mean, at some point, if you're Krabeni, you're gonna have to expect that position to finally be held. And there are some ways to cheat in that, right? Go up middle again, go up short. But for now, it seems to be a bit more of a fake thrown and seemingly effective as Milzi gets prevented the double kill.
Ziyugis, was shooting up high. SDY comes down low and gets the kill onto him. And now the CTs find themselves in a favorable position again, but at least the bomb has not been lost just yet.
And try and fake the rotate back, and Symmetry's position might be a catalyst to that. It's the one position that you keep a player in if you're rotating back over towards B. Now they're all gone. Because mid is being held. Of course you don't know these long rotates through CT. And now you especially don't. 35 HP. All that's on the table. And it's going to be hard to bluff out something out of the ENCE team now.
Yeah, losing, what is it, 4, 5 rounds in a row to finish the half would be quite nasty for FUT. They even called that tactical timeout when the score was 6-3. STY finds an easy kill onto Krabeni, and now Symmetry is alone with the Galil. Picks up the bomb, and it's gonna be Nachu finishing things off for the first half. Welcome back. It's the day of the comebacks, as comebacks are happening on multiple planes. Right now, ENCE has started their own comeback onto Mirage. Pistol round. Let's see if Laonix can find some success here. Gets the first headshot. He really needs that confidence boost because he's been very quiet on the first half.
Yeah, just 2 kills. Now on a third, as Regon gets slapped at the top of Connector. Those dualies enabling some beautiful shots as well. Does seem like FUT are able to hold on very, very nicely. And Laonix, our Kidia player to watch, is gonna shoot some fireballs out of his USP. 3 kills.
And they've finally stopped it. The bleeding of rounds has been halted by FUT with this pistol victory, and they're not playing around. They are going for full investments, 4 and 4s and FAMAS.
Against a whole bunch of Tech 9s and a whole bunch of flashbangs. Will it be good enough? It's opening up with a dink. But the FAMAS still stands. They're trying to hunt down the player that they know is low.
They're on site now. They've managed to pick up the FAMAS from the ground. SDY.
Out in the open.
Zugis, what are you doing? That's a huge mistake. Laonix continuing to drop into through the smoke and losing his life now. Demon wants to line a couple of them up. That's nice spray control with the A4, and now Pody, from what was a player advantage for his squad, he has to clutch it up if he wants to win this force buy.
A 2-man advantage, but Regon's W key was stuck as he bolted into CT. Demon catching all 3 and, well, make it a 4th. He's able to hold on to the CT angle, and it's an easy couple of kills for him, making it look pretty.
Yeah, this was extremely scary to kick things off for FUT, as that clean rush onto the A bomb site with a few smokes and Tech 9s seemed to be catching them by surprise, but it was Demon salvaging what could have been way, way worse. Oh, speaking about salvaging, what is ENCE doing, Sheep?
I guess the call is, okay, we've gotten 3 kills. That's enough to still destroy the economy of the opposition here. Yeah, I mean, if they win this round, I mean, they're on the verge of destroying their own economy. High risk, high reward. Regon again with the Tech 9.
Demon, isolated to the side, getting pushed by the Mac-10. Krabeni comes in with the assistance, but Nature is onto site. They have the player advantage somehow, some way. Symmetry and Zugis will have to retake this one with a FAMAS and an AWP, but the bomb has yet to get planted. Smoking off, it's a flash that didn't quite land. It was too short off the door, and Nature gets baited into the angle.
And the double up.
Second one doesn't connect. He's down to 1 HP, but the FAMAS of Tsugi still gets some work done. Wallbang onto Pody, and they have to yet plant the bomb. Sheep. SDY is gonna fight for this. Gets the first contact, and the second does not go in his favor, and the force buy almost works.
Nice trade there. That flashbang missing. That is tough for ENCE. I mean, at some point, there's gonna have to be a half buy. Yes, the money is still low. Of course, they're gonna force it.
Oh, shush. Here we go again. I thought Nature was on I thought Nature was on a Glock with armor and utility, but no, he went for the Deagle, thank God. 9-6, and I mean, ENCE really fought to
get a rush.
This time they get on top of the site, Symmetry falls apart, the smokes haven't even landed, and they are already past Electric Box and towards Ticket. This is unbelievably fast Counter-Strike, and FUT, every single time they seem to be overwhelmed by at the beginning of the round, but they manage to get back into it. Right now, they're gonna try to go through CT.
Regon like a hare jumping into CT, getting chased by bullets. Stop now with the headshot as Demon with 2 more.
Straight out of hell coming with that one. SDY now really needs to stay alive. Pody gets the first one from backside, getting the players towards him, but it's FUT again and again and again, giving up the site and then taking over it. And this time they do it with 3 players alive.
That should be enough to deter another force buy, right? Yeah, you get another bomb plant. I mean, the money's all good. There's some more AKs coming. ENCE somehow have force-bought their way to prevent an eco.
Does ENCE need to be somewhere tonight? I mean, I know it's Saturday evening, but like, come on, guys, you can pause for a little bit. At the same time, they are getting control of sites and they have the player advantage. It's just they can't seem to keep a hold of the site.
And twice now it's been Regan on the A-bomb side to fall first there. That is a trend that I hope doesn't continue. Of course, he is your space taker, as he does so majestically, always with his head down, jumping. But they need to get a bit more out of him in those positions. I mean, his output in terms of kills has been up there, right? Together with SDY, he's at the top of the leaderboard. A couple of eco kills in there, arguably. But they just need some more from him. Some more care of the space that's been taken. Because yes, he jumps into CT, but if you die after one flashbang and you're not able to get traded, what's it really worth?
We're gonna find out. Finally, ENCE taking it a bit more methodical this time around. Let's see how they're going to proceed. They've got control of short. Rigon is getting flashed in. Nobody in here. Such a spread out default from ENCE. A complete change up from what we've seen in the last 3 rounds for them. It might pay off for them as Launix seems to be getting very, very curious. He is not alone. Demon is by his side. And they find a kill onto Pody. Rigon swings out and gets caught by the AK-47 from the CTs. Mitzi, sole success in mid as Krabeni inside will not hesitate to take SDY out and a double onto Nachu.
Sick timing from FUT. That is so good because they are going for a slower round. You know that the play is going to go through mid. And very often the side takes start to happen at around 30 seconds when you have such a slow play. Very rarely do teams decide to go later because then you can get into a bit of a pinch. Will there be a nice timed smoke or a nice timed molly? You know, you can't get to the bomb site in time. FUT, 5 seconds before Krabeni senses that ENCE are going to move, they just step forward into the fights, catching ENCE preparing. And that's some brilliant calling. That's very nicely done.
5 rounds ahead, and this is going to be the first partial buy again from ENCE. This is the reverse dust too. I'm telling you, this is what happened last time. They're going to play for OT.
Ooh. Onyx gets protected.
Yeah, this is not looking like a competitive second half, does it?
No, absolutely not. ENCE hasn't even touched the scoreboard yet since switching sides. They've tried. They've really tried very hard with all those force buys, but not very valuable, all these results. Praying for gold, you get rewarded with a tin can. An empty one at that. Knife.
I was hoping for the knife. I was really hoping. I didn't want to say it because I was afraid it might not happen if I say it, but hey, you did it, so it's your fault.
I'm never afraid to say it.
Okay, well,
Always wishing for the knife.
It's gonna have to be ENCE on a 6-round streak to take us to OT, and I'm gonna put it out there in the universe, Sheep. It's definitely 100% not happening. They've not shown us anything. Yeah, they've not shown us anything in this second half, and they would need to completely have a different approach to this T side of Mirage to make me a believer. And so far, they've taken a ton of nade damage. They've traded one in mid, and they're walking into the AWP. This is already looking like done and dusted. Symmetry wants to put them exactly in their place of his nickname.
It's just been so sharp, all these trades. The CT side has felt like a slap in the face to ENCE. Just everything so spot on perfect from the FUT team. Unable to overcome with rushes, unable to overcome with slow play or funky lurks from SDY to deal with the man disadvantage. Nature's already down to 19. Pody ain't much more healthy on 61. And ENCE are going to stay on a big fat 0 for this half. FUT show dominance on Mirage.
Yeah, and the T side was underwhelming, but even the CT side, Pody didn't find the impact he needed with WP to get more rounds, and he falls again as nature
Look
is
at
the
that.
last nail in the coffin. We're going to nuke.
And deservingly so, ENCE weren't there in the slightest on this second half. And even in the first half, right, it was that force buy that kind of helped them, or well, preventing the force buy. And there were a couple of awkward financial rounds from FUT that they were able to deal with. That counted for the 6-6. Of course, the resurgence later on in the half as well, but no such resurgence happening on on this side of the game. Just complete another dominance.
Yeah, and at this moment, I gotta ask you, Sheep, do you think the momentum has completely swapped now with the performance from FUT on Mirage?
I think FUT are gonna feel pretty good, but next map is gonna be Dust 2, and ENCE have always been strong. All their individual players have always been strong on Nuke, even in their past teams. So I think there's still a lot to gain for this ENCE team. I think I called them ENCE Academy on accident again. I do that sometimes. I apologize.
Well, we had a deciding map 3 yesterday. Was it on Nuke, where the knives round was very, very important, so I cannot...
Lead to a CT-sided start. Yes, no surprise there. Can ENCE, I mean, they've just gotten off a very good CT side. Or actually, I say that.
It's been alright. It's been alright.
It was alright. A good recovery on CT side. I misremembered for a moment. Can they try and build a bit of a gap? Can they keep it clean? That's the big question. Well, we'll see what this pistol has to bring.
This time we get a couple of dualies. We are set up for an explosion onto A. Molly's coming in. They gotta push Nature out of the angle. He still managed to find one before he falls, and now they're on site. Demon with a double. Launix doubling up himself. And now Milty on the lurk with the dualies. Might have an opportunity. He makes the sting noise, and he's just gonna allow Symmetry to turn around, get the kill, and what a nice takeover of the A bomb site.
No one on the CT side getting a double kill in those earlier engagements, and at that point you just kind of crumble because you're gonna have to rush into heaven. You won't be ready for any of the peaks, and you're gonna have 3 Glocks aiming at your face. That won't be anything there for ENCE. A great start from FUT, and an unsurprising sight. ENCE are going for the force buy. Let's see how fast Regal's gonna run into these fights.
Mac 10.
Whoosh.
Yeah, Milty had no hope of surviving there. SDY, well, tried to get more with the MP9, gets one, and then some more damage onto Demon, but oh my goodness, Regon, what were you even trying? What was the dream there, Regon? I want to know.
They're just chasing butterflies, aren't they? Every single time a fight's been happening, it's the trade comes in a good couple of seconds after the death has already happened for ENCE. And that's something that we saw as well on Mirage, so I hope they can clean that up when they have the full guns out. Of course, there's a bit more util to slow down the T side, but it's gonna be a necessity, because already losing 2 rounds, you know, 3 more awkward wins from FUT, and you already have a very strong T side at half, so you're gonna get against the full eco now, so already 3. Likely, of course, nothing set in stone in life.
Terrorists win.
Well, Potty at least saved the scout. I highlighted Potty's underwhelming performance, especially on the CT side of Mirage. Hopefully he can have more impact on this nuke, because his team really needs him to step up if they are to win the series and keep themselves in the tournament, reminding everybody at home this is an elimination game.
Elimination Counter-Strike always can bring good enjoyment, because teams can get desperate. Let's not reveal the name on the knife of Demon, but it was a pretty funny name. So if you catch that,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Aww.
if you caught that at home, then you'll.
You caught it at home, at me on Twitter. Oh man, what a sellout, am I not?
I mean, you can sell out a bit. Just don't sell yourself short and you'll be fine.
Oh, I love that. You know what I don't love? The fact that we've been forcing again, and with our CT side, well, we didn't force this round, but that force last round I did not like at all. Because right now you're probably looking down the gun barrel of an 0-3 start on the CT side of Nuke, unless these Deagles 5.7s can find something. Launix says otherwise.
Mostly at the cost of util in the upcoming round. Of course, if you get a couple of kills, yeah, you'll get a bit more cash, but you're going to need 4 kills to be worth a flashbang for any of the players. So I don't know if this sacrifice is worth it. We'll have to remain and see, but if FUT are able to exploit the fact that they're going to have a util advantage in the next, then it might be a pretty devastating full gun round for the first. Just as this one is pretty devastating. No deaths on the FUT team.
How do you even end up being the scout in that position when you're having an eco round? Like, I'm so confused how Potty pushed so far deep. Yeah, it's quite impressive, I have to admit, but at least this time he will have the AWP.
Yeah, that will come out. We'll see if that can actually bring some firepower with it. If Potty goes down early now, that's going to be pretty rough. But full AKs again. And I'm assuming FUT... I don't think they're ready to slow down yet. And that is going to be exactly the case. Already.
It ain't broken, why fix it, right? Look at it. They're getting on it.
Well, that's very broken.
Yeah, they're breaking it apart.
That is...
See, this is what I meant by not forcing in that second round, because when you have the weaponry and the utility earlier on, that's the type of impact in the round I want to see from you. Hopefully they're not going to suffer too much from that early investment, right, Sheep?
No, it does deliver the 3 rather than the 2 rounds to FUT. Of course, you're still not in an ideal position if you full eco the second round. It's always a bit awkward. You see teams just on a whim really choose what their option is going to be. But that was very quick. That was a first 10-second knockout from ENCE. Let's see if in a slightly slower round, FUT can try and get some more advantageous fights. Potty just not has had that consistency across this series.
Well, not on the last 2 maps, definitely not.
No.
Last 2 he was pretty good.
And Dust 2, he was hitting the shots that he needed to. But it's already, I mean, I don't think that Miss is going to be around Decider, but it's always a bit awkward if you see Oppers not hitting shots that, you know, you probably think they should.
You're meant to, yeah, of course.
And this can get overrun very easily. I have a feeling it's going to be a heaven wrap if they take ramp here. I mean, everyone's in position. If they're just going to wait here, Potty's going to be dead. There's no cover for this.
That was a perfect flash, but he managed to drop out and potentially escape there. At least for now, he is alive.
Now heaven's open. Are they considering this? Yes, they are. STY. We didn't see his position on the X-ray. But he was eyeing it. And now with 20 seconds left, FUT, are you ready for this?
I hope they are. Krabeni wants to find something, but it's Raygon getting all of the success until Symmetry and Krabeni get turned on to this side, but a missed AWP shot, and it will be FUT continuing to maintain the lead despite that earlier round loss.
Still good, and it's looked very clean from ENCE as soon as the rifles have come out.
Yeah, no, look at the money.
It's like, yeah, they're building it up nicely. SDY.
Despite the lead that FUT has, like I said, 3 rounds. I mean, it's not enough though. I think T side of Nuke unit. Oh, okay. Tapping on the back, Nachu. I think you need at least 5. I think we are at this point in time where 5 rounds is the bare minimum. I know some teams are happy with 4. And wow, Demon. Another straight out of hell shot, but he will get traded by Potty with the AWP. Yeah, what is your thought on that? How many rounds on the T side shall we expect to see from FUT here for them to be content?
I do think 5 is quite realistic. We'll probably see a rush here or there, move out, or some incredible clutch again, because they've been on it in the late rounds. Let's see if SDY is in a position to get a bit cheeky with the XM. Not quite. The alligator, as so fondly called, often on broadcast. Oh, well, he knows they're there. Just hasn't pulled the trigger yet.
Counter-terrorists win.
A nice triple from the Frenchman.
SDY, okay, I was hoping he was gonna swap the weapon out. He was running the XM still, and of course that would have been slightly more difficult to use versus the full AK-47 buy that we are gonna see from the side of FUT this time.
We haven't seen them be threatening yet with the full AKs versus the full rifles. Let's see how quickly everyone falls. Let's not see how quickly everyone falls. No time for that, Mr. Coster. We have to get back into the game. But it's a bit of a slow one at the start.
Very slow indeed. We're looking at the scoreline. It is Demon with 6 kills. We have seen him find even a couple of those deagles on the eco. Meanwhile, Nechu up to 8 for the CTs. Milsey has been quite a consistent player so far in this series, but yet to find the first one in the first 6 rounds.
A bit more organized. Full A side take. If they can deal with the Juto on the inside, then there won't be much to find, but the flashbangs are actually pretty good. It's
Demon again.
Yep, he's on fire.
He is unbelievable so far. But this T side of Nuke seems to be his playground. SDY gets caught by Zugis, and now player disadvantage. Flash popped in, but they are opting against committing. They realized we're not gonna give away what weaponry we have. AK too valuable, AWP even more so. So they will completely abandon the site, and FUT not losing the lead and yet to lead at all on the CT side of Nuke. And they're getting... I think they should probably get curious on the side of FUT and go to hunt for the hunt.
Yeah, still 2 flashbangs available, but this angle is a bit too difficult to deal with. Especially with 2 players still left. Well, Milsey is relegated now to the 0 frag department.
Terrorists win.
And FUT may have found a solution now, because that was a very nice side take. There were enough bodies on the A bomb site, right? They were still there with 3. But it's still a bit awkward for the ENCE side. Quite a big push.
Milsey catches Demon. Now they want to trade him again. Milsey, who doesn't quite commit to any of the duel, but it doesn't matter. The rest of his teammates doing perfectly. Pody will get one more symmetry. Has to go for the 1 versus 4 and gets the first 2 opening. Picks up the bomb and now has plenty of time to create some confusion among the CTs.
And wait, symmetry. All those Ys at the end. It's going to be Nechu to close them off. A bit of an awkward angle there at the top. Usually I'm a bit more a fan if players go towards the B bomb side, but that is difficult in the clutches. Anyways, if you're already on a bomb site, then it's very nice to clutch, but if you're not on a bomb site just yet, so many angles to clear, and usually doesn't end up too well. But...
Or 4. There we are, Sheep. The action continues to be... I mean, first half of every single map so far has been back and forth. We ended up having 6-0 at the half for both Dust2 and Mirage, and so far Nuke seems to be heading that way, which definitely would be in the advantage of FUT, getting 6 rounds on the T side.
Gonna push.
Oh, I mean, they managed to win it last round. Yugis will spot the first one now. All this time, the other 4 teammates are taking control outside.
Yeah, FUT realizes that there would be a bit of a gap if they accelerate. At this point, the rotate from Pody has already gone back in, but you are able to force him off the angle, which is exactly what happens. This B bomb site still looking a bit weak. Yes, it's a big pillar, but it's only a single one. Oh, they've gone back up. Taking fights into garage. Okay, FUT. As the crow flies, going by just pure vibes here.
They maintain their player advantage. Launix punishing Pody there. That's definitely not something we'd love to see, and Jugis is lighting both of them up. Running out of bullets, Rigon with a hope here, but 13 HP. Seems highly unlikely for him to clutch this one up. The bomb is yet to be planted, but it will get there in just a moment as Symmetry makes his way to the site. Rigon on their tail, want to get there, but the aim sheet from Launix. Bad boys don't look at explosions, and neither do Romanians.
Made Rigon do the stanky lag there at the top of ramp. Hit him with the nade, and FUT are keeping ENCE on their toes on the CT side. They're setting themselves up beautifully for a very nice second half. FUT might be able to pull off. Well, it's awkward, right? Because ENCE have been up there in a bigger LAN tournaments and qualifying for some bigger tourneys, but in this fight, FUT has won every single series 5 times. FUT has been the winner, so I feel a bit bad calling FUT the underdog. Like, is the absence of Makazi enough to call FUT the underdog in this matchup? I don't know if it is.
No, I definitely don't think it is, especially after the way the momentum shifted on the second map. I genuinely think the ball is in the court of FUT as Rigon gets the opening, but it is back to a trade. So much back and forth again. STY gets pushed off the angle, has to use the incendiary to keep Demon at bay. Look at Pody, down to 2 HP. STY really wants to find some space on the map. He is getting curious, gonna walk into the AWP of Symmetry, who does not miss Sheep.
And it's, again, for the 3rd round in a row, it's a very similar play. Yeah, there's a bit of a nice move from Nachu, but it's costing them so much getting red on these inner pushes. It's costing him space, it's costing him deaths. And Nachu now is in a good position, but Symmetry still hasn't gotten out of there just yet. Nachu tries to find it, but that's one of the full HP players dead. Symmetry knows he's heard the footsteps. There's nothing ENCE can do in this round anymore. It's fully over, Vlad.
Well, it's not fully over. It's, you know, you lost the battle, but the war is not finished yet. Although 6-4 at the half is an incredible scoreline, as Krabeni is actually not going to be the only one collecting the remaining souls of the ENCE players. They're dropping the weapons. They're not going to be able to move on with anything to write home about in round number 11.
And it's, again, this push, right? You lose Rigon on outside, and it's been the inner push. It's not only been a set response for most teams throughout the nuke meta, but it's also been ENCE's go-to aggression play in the rounds previous. It's not a surprise that CTs turn up there. Symmetry very much knows that, gets a double kill for his troubles. So it's a bit one-dimensional thus far from ENCE, and they're getting caught out for it. I'm wondering if ENCE will have enough on the T side.
I've managed.
Yeah.
I've managed to retrieve my headset. There was a bit of an issue there, technical on my side, but we're back into action. I can't say the same thing about ENCE, who is yet to be back in action, but look at the silo play already with the USP. That's going to find one nice kill for Nature before he gets punished by Zugis. Farming a couple of these eco kills. Pody on the knife might find Krabeni. Does not. Krabeni will continue to be the smoke criminal.
He's still gonna check this angle. I mean, it's yeah, it's a funky smoke play, but it's an angle you check anyway, so when clearing garage, so not much use out of that play. I have just put my eyes on a concerning statistic for ENCE. Their round winning percentage on the T side of Nuke has been pretty abysmal. That's not a good sign. Not at all, because you're probably gonna go 8-4 down here. That's
very
bad.
patient here. Very patient here for FUT. They're gonna use Regon to get a kill, at least onto Symmetry, ruining his stats a little bit. But SDY with the USP and the Dream would love to find anything to pick up, but no, he will get claimed. Zugis with a third in this round, 7-4, and no matter what, there's no way to slice it differently, Sheep. FUT will be leading at the halftime on the T side of Nuke.
That's big. That's very big.
Oh no, that's FUT.
Yeah, I know. Well, ENCE are playing like big on this in these full gun rounds. No, it's not that bad just yet. Don't worry. But I mean, even on eliminating NIP from the Dracula and the land in Romania, oh, look at this, just rubbing it in. Lonix with a Mac 10. He could have bought any weapon. Even an auto sniper would have been in his financial range, but he chooses for a Mac.
Yeah,
a
metal
Mac
to the metal.
Fistful.
It's incredible what we're seeing from FUT here, and that stat Sheep will continue most likely, unless SDY and Milty can start a comeback here, and then the pistols and many other rounds. But Launix is going to go for the 4K of the round. Racking up these multi-kill rounds to go and send us to the second half.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. feet, this is a shakedown.
And we are underway with the final pistol round of the evening. European ESL Challenger League Season 50 FUT Esports with 4 rounds lead, kicking things off on the CT side of Nuke.
A pistol that could be the death of ENCE here in the ECL Cup 2. It is a nice strat, though. They're going to stick together. And again, it's Regon just jumping in, being the bait. He's unkillable if he's in that state. Oh, that thing is great timing.
Demon and Symmetry need to find something, and Symmetry finds a double before he finally falters, but he did so much work, it might just be too late. Launix would like to get something, but doesn't quite connect to the long range. The teammates will have to come in with the assistance, and Nachu with 3 HP versus 3. He's got exactly 1 health point per each opponent he needs to kill.
This is never going to happen, that shot to rub it in. It's just shades of Mirage. It feels like it's exactly how the entire CT side of Mirage went, where there is a nice push, there is a nice plan from ENCE, but it's just double kills when it's necessary and trades when the fight starts to get a bit chaotic. Every single time, ENCE is just not able to cleanly break through that first layer. And every single time, it's FUT that will just put bodies on top of bodies close to it. And ENCE just aren't able to get anywhere. This is going to be double digits off of this round.
Absolutely. At least there's not a random force here. Regon will do some economical damage to the opponents by utilizing that deagle before he falls. Not too much to write home about here, as Milty will pick up the op. Still very quiet, the lowest on the map when it comes to kills so far, 3 and 9, and it's about to be a 3 and 10. Yep.
Yeah.
Last man standing.
This is just sheer dominance. Well, it feels like FUT are ENCE's boogeyman. Doesn't seem like there's just anything available for ENCE facing off against this, well, currently old 4 stack that was there all the way back in Navi Junior. A team that qualified for the MRQ but could not attend because they were an academy team. So much power here. FUT, in my opinion, have made the right decision buying this core and delivering with it. Krebeni, for the heck of it, just breaks his ankles. Wants to give a bit of leeway to ENCE.
There's still plenty of Counter-Strike to be played here, Sheep, and I believe ENCE can at least put up a bit of more of a fight. I don't know if they can actually come back, but maybe 2-3 rounds. They're still in the ballpark from them. SDY versus Krebeni, the timing might be unfavorable for SDY. It's actually a clean duel. So Krebeni just wins it.
He's so good. Krebeni is just insane. He doesn't get touched by SDY. There's the boost up position. They won't check it, and it's a double for Demon. Nearly a triple as his MP9 runs out. The USP is just as fine. A third for Demon as he drags him back to hell. It's just a devastation.
Krebeni with a nice angle. Final in the coffin. That was this first gun round from ENCE. It felt fairly similar to their eco round, I have to say. Not too much was contested there. No, not even a single flash to maybe force Demon to have his head in the wall. It was a very, very dry swing out into the open of ramp. Maybe a bit of a questionable approach to taking control of ramp.
I mean, it's just perfect positioning from FUT. Yet again, shots being hit. Demon getting away with a triple kill there. Now it's a Moda for Tsiugis. A 4th. It's just destruction. There's nothing for ENCE left on the table.
That was so
FUT
beautiful.
have eaten it all.
But at least they will have money to play for. All they need, it's only 8 back-to-back rounds on the T side of Nuke. Thoughts?
I mean, it's... No. I mean, you said there's plenty of Counter-Strike to be played. And for now, these past 2 rounds, I haven't seen that much. I've seen Counter-Strike, capital C.
No, I was talking about my night after the
FUT.
broadcast. I'll be playing plenty of Counter-Strike after this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
STY will get an opening, but Krabeni trades Launix right away. 4 versus 4, and the rest of the T's are going for a ramp. Demon can hear them, but he is slowly retreating. He needs a bit of assistance. Someone is coming to get to him, but he might have to find at least one, unless he's outnumbered. Symmetry. With the AWP in hell, also has a player ahead of him. Krabeni in windows. He's holding it patiently. Switches to the Tech 9. Demon reveals his position. The damage is coming in droves, but Rigon gets the first kill. Symmetry gets caught with a second. Pody's gonna call for the rotation, and they're gonna go heaven to A. This is gonna be a very, very good rotation from ENCE, but they do have Rigon on the lurk, and he finds another kill onto Krabeni. Dziugis last alive, 1v4 in vent. Can he get one? Yes, he can.
Regon for a second there, aiming at the staircase. Enough for Dziugis to get another kill, but finally they're able to find a gap. Finally they're able to get some space, get some opening kills, and that's mostly just because a bit more of a passive setup. FUT very prepared for an outside play, and everyone's storming the ramp.
I'm surprised they're not hunting for Dziugis. I mean, at this point, I guess you know the CTs have plenty to reinvest, so maybe it's just more valuable to save all 3 of your weapons.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, there's no money going around in the ENCE camp. Now a bit of a boost. It's Milty still on 3, man. That hurts me. I was praising him so much in the first 2 maps. He was performing great there, but as you said in the break, after the second half started on Mirage, I'm even doubtful if ENCE rejoined the server. They've just been pretty much nowhere, and even this round, I don't think they can replicate it that easily. Right, there was a big gap to be exploited, and Demon's now on the double.
Pody, 7 and 11. On the op T side. And whoa. Wait, did you see what are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, the double up. That's why I said Demon on the double.
I was just ignoring you, Sheep. That's kind of what we need to do sometimes. There's several of you, right? Like, can't listen to all the sheep at once, you know what I'm saying? Oh my god.
Fair point.
Well, at least Pody has something to counter them with potentially early spray downs.
Outside play. Well, there's no ops outside. It's just the rifles.
It's Launix losing the instant duel versus SDY, and now Rigon will double up and have to get Dziugis with a couple. Finds a single kill. He is getting pushed away by the HE, but does a ton of damage there. As Demon is the last man standing, and I've not seen Demon play the big green at all this series, and sadly, we're not gonna get to see any action from him this round either.
That's a bit weird. I get that you want to put one player over towards ramp with the AWP. That doesn't surprise me that much, but why were there no ops on outside? Feels like that would have been a lot more advantageous in the fight. I mean, you see the death cross right in front of Demon on the minimap there on the top left of your screen. That was, I'm pretty sure, Krabeni with a rifle that was sitting there. Whilst you have 2 ops, like it's a bit of a decision that fails to hit any logic in my mind. Surely there was a reason for it, but yeah, you see SDY there just easily take care of, it was Symmetry actually. So no, he did just fight the head-to-head duel with the AK onto the AWP. Never mind.
Mac 10 from Rigon.
Yeah.
Why?
I assume it's going to be a fast interplay. Flashes are there for it. Lots of pressure on the
He's
outside.
outside with the map 10, gets the kill, switches to an M4. He doesn't find a second, but his teammates will. And now they completely overwhelm the A-bomb site. Symmetry outside has a sliver of chance and gets one. Tags the second, but he also eats a ton of damage. 4 HP is gonna be going down to 3. The molly from Demon, onto Demon rather, will push him away from main. And now ENCE has managed to finally string some successful takeovers of the site.
Well, it's at 2 or 3 rounds for ENCE. We're reaching that limit, but it's likely again going to be a save. This time Pody's getting a bit more curious.
Pody would
Austin
love
running
to
into
find the op
CT.
himself, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I mean, would he? He's been better on the AK in these past couple.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, he would like to find it to not have it for the CT's next round. That's at least...
That's a better approach.
12-7, okay. Slow and steady wins the race, and it doesn't get much slower than this, Sheep.
Oh, there's a long way to go. Usually for these types of comebacks, I'll start to get really excited when it gets to like 12-9, 12-10, you know. That's 12-11. That's usually when these comebacks start to take some shape, right? These rounds can, if there is a swift win, even if it's a 13-8 or, in my opinion, even 13-9, all these rounds will just be forgotten to time for ENCE.
Well, at least we've seen some of their players starting to fire and find some successful duels. If only Milsey would be joining them, that would be amazing. 4-14, a very, very rough showing from him so far. But looking at the economy of the CTs...
Oh.
Deagle and no HP for Launix. That HE doesn't even land where it should have. Krebeni would have maybe found a few with the A1. Okay, fighting with the ladder. Gravity always wins.
Perfect position.
He's gonna find at least one. This must be a kill from Symmetry, and he misses!
Whoa.
Doesn't get the connection. SDY, how many entries has he gotten this series? A lot. Milty, nice trade right away. Julius on the tail, wants to connect with the 5-7, he will not, but Krebeni is the element of surprise, and he's playing it patiently, gets the spot onto Rigan, and the second the bomb doesn't go down, he's so good at what he does, but needs to get a couple more to win the round and the map and the series. Running out of bullets, has to reposition for a second. Krebeni, buying him time, drops into the crosshair of Neichu, and ENCE make it dangerous, but they make it in the end.
Alright, a bit of a missed opportunity there, sprinting out the vents. Might have been something in Krebeni losing his armorless, already hurt teammate Lonix at the start of that 2v2. What the hell's going on, Vlad?
SDY, man! I was just in the break time. I was watching like an old like pub video from like back in 2008, and this was a classic gun for players to have fun with. SDY is eating a ton of utility damage. He's gonna hop out and die, but it worked, I guess? Question marks?
Yeah, ramp control's taken.
Krebeni?
He seems to be here on time, but ain't much to fight with, as it's an awkward angle. It's a lot of commitment to be there. Lonix.
That's a good timing.
Yeah, and he has
fast.
Symmetry with him.
But the rest of his team is dying.
Yeah. Rest needed to stay alive. That's not gonna happen, and forced back for another save. Alright, a till of 2 halves thus far. And FUT, that 12th round, it hasn't really seemed like they've gotten actually close to winning this.
Sheep, I have to ask, is this like something in the patch that I don't read? Like Nuke is suddenly T-sided? Have I missed the update to the meta? Like, what is going on?
The change gonna come in next Tuesday. It's gonna be
Okay.
$300 for every kill the CT gets. Only on Nuke. Because apparently they need it.
Yeah, very strange. I mean, looking at some of the other results happening in the lower bracket of Season 50, teams winning on train 12-0 is quite, T-side, quite impressive. Oh, Symmetry. That was definitely a pocket shot. Flashes galore coming in. Launix lining a couple up. Spray control perfectly from the Kidia player to watch, as they will not lose the weapons, and 4 of the ENCE players lose their life in their attempt. At least they got the money.
Just full team blinded. That was That was 2 flashbangs from the player in the back line that blinded both of those
It was an
teammates
HU.
2 times.
I think it was an HU, I think.
Well, there was an HE thrown in as well, but Lonix had 3 blind players in front of him, so that was as about as unsuccessful as a round like this can be. But they had all the money; they haven't lost a round in a while. We have seen the timeout called. Pretty sure that was by FUT. I missed the color in the graphic above.
Can I ask you, what do you think of these multiple A4s being utilized by FUT here? Is it the spray through the smokes and the squeaky doors that important to have the extra magazines?
I do think so. It's a bit nicer, and ENCE, the plays that they've been going for have been very crowded, right? It's been very cluttered. Haven't been many long-range fights, haven't been many reliances on individual picks, right? It's been a lot of team rushes, and especially in such a scenario, that's the nice thing about being able to pick both weapons now. You can even adapt to what position you play and what the opposition is doing. Because if you know there's going to be a lot of... Oh, yeah. Oh, timing.
He's getting overwhelmed. SDY again with another opening, back-to-back-to-back opening, I feel like, from him. Symmetry only finds one before he gets punished. Demon really needs to get something back, but he's somehow alone on an island, surrounded by players, and Rigon gets another double kill. The story of this comeback has been SDY not afraid to go in first. Even if he dies or doesn't get the kill, he enables the rest of the squad, and Rigon with back-to-back multi-kills as well. Do you believe in the comeback now?
I'm starting to, because I'm starting to get very concerned about what FUT are doing. They're going to go for a buy now. Loss bonus is at a maximum, so they should be able to be fine for the final round, potentially. But there's just 0 adjustments. Pretty much the same as what we saw in the first half. The CT side is just unable to come up with a solution to these storming T-side rounds. And Vlad, Vlad, look at the minimap. There's 3 players already down at the bottom bomb site. This is a big commitment.
This might be a good read from Krabeni and the boys. Launix gets outnumbered, but he finds the first opening one. SDY again, the pinpoint of the team going in first every single time. Symmetry, a disgusting angle to hold. Can he hear someone going above? I think he might be aware of the possibility, at least.
The jumps do make a very minimal noise.
Milty, that's a perfect volley.
Enough.
That's a perfect volley from Milty. He gets the easy cleanup on the 2 players, Demon and Krabeni. No chance, as it has to be Dziugis alone with the A1. His position is not no. He's going to give it away now, but he finds the first. Second doesn't quite connect with the spray down as Milty finds a hat trick for his
Bottom
troubles.
fragger highlights.
How did you know that's my second nickname?
Bottom fragger highlights.
Yeah.
That will be a good title for a highlight video or a lowlight video. I've seen a couple of those videos, like players that have been playing bad get a massive clutch. I remember one game where like Elige was like 0-7 and then he got a 1v3, like a sick 1v3. It was like, oh, that's the way to open up on your scoreboard. But we're there somehow, Waxen. We have made it to round number 24. We've been on map point since 12-4.
This is the first second half that... No, that's a lie. The second half has not been competitive, no?
No, it hasn't been. The game in total has been is really competitive now.
Well, it's been trade. Like, the score looks competitive. I don't know if the game itself has been competitive. Like, the rounds are just either FUT won like 8 in a row, and then ENCE seems to be winning 6 in a row now.
Ooh.
Off the op, that's going to be a nice opportunity for Symmetry. He's been so good on finding these angles and just getting that player advantage for his team when he has the op.
Oh, just a couple of pixels giving Nature's game plan away. It could all still crumble here from ENCE.
They've worked so hard.
Yeah.
It was the same on Mirage. They came back from a 6-1 deficit to a 6-0 and then they crumbled. This time, they've made it even closer. The AWP shot will be missed by Pody. Tiugis will have to start using his utility onto the A site, and that's a very nice smoke.
Benny has found another spot, a silent jump.
Yeah, jumping squads from Krebeni. Working on those quads, gonna give away position and
Another.
Symmetry. They're challenging him. They thought he might have rotated after the first kill, but it's not the case. And now FUT with the 2-player advantage for the first time in a long one. But SDY, we've been mentioning, he has been the catalyst of opening the sites up.
He's on a solo fake.
Krebeni.
And he's gonna get hunted down. So much information given up to facilitate that fake. Rig on whack-a-mole as he gets bonked on the head. And that's gonna be Pody in a 1v4. FUT, the final hurdle yet gets crossed.
Gets the kill.
There's no time.
The clutch begins, but the time is running out. The hopes are going. They are all dwindling. The
Oh my
comeback
word.
almost happened, and FUT do it in maximum amount of possible